Endless online searches, trekking from dealer to dealer. But here it is, the Volvo XC90. A luxury SUV that emphasises convenience and comfort. A panoramic roof, advanced air purifier, a head-up display that changes to suit light conditions, an air suspension system that ensures a smooth ride by constantly adjusting the ride height and shock absorbers. Now at special run-out pricing from $99,990 plus on roads. Visit Volvo Cars and discover why the Volvo XC90 is the vehicle for right now.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
2:26 on News Talk ZB and Weekend Sport. Dr. Dave Edgar is a man of many talents. He's a major in the New Zealand Army, currently officer commanding Physical Performance Squadron. He has an extensive background working in rugby as a strength and conditioning coach for Waikato, the Chiefs, Manu Samoa, and also in Japan. And he's an accomplished marathon swimmer and endurance athlete. He'll shortly look to complete the New Zealand Marathon Swimming Triple Crown by swimming Foveaux Strait. He's already completed the length of Lake Taupo and Cook Strait. He's also on a mission to conquer the Ocean 7, which I'm keen to find out more about. He's doing all of this to help raise awareness for dyslexia and those with learning challenges. Dr. Dave Edgar is with us. Dave, this is amazing. Let's start with your upcoming swim. What are the specific challenges of swimming the Foveaux Strait?
Hey, g'day, Piney. Great to be here, and mate, thanks for that awesome intro. Look, the Foveaux, the big challenges is, look, we've got the tide window. It's always the weather. So I'm talking with the boat captain down there daily at the moment to try and nail the ideal day. It's looking like next Thursday or Friday. And then around that, just the winds, trying to get the best winds to ride across, and water temperature. I've done a heck of a lot of cold water training, and probably the other thing that's in the back of the mind is the old big grey things floating around in the water down there.
Yes, I would imagine that'd be something you'd like to avoid. So when you are looking for ideal conditions, and you've identified, as you say, a window that might be your perfect day, what does that day look like?
Okay, what does that look like? Yeah, I guess we target these windows pretty early out, and it goes off the tide. So you want an ebb tide, which is the lowest tide of the month, or one of the lowest of the month, so there's less water pushing you around. You still go on a high tide, so you get the flow. So you can target that, months out, going off different, predictions and tides and NIWA and whatnot. The challenging point then becomes obviously the weather. You can follow weather patterns, but you're not sure exactly what's going to happen at that time. So really it's just being ready to go, confident that you can do it, and hoping the stars align a little bit, because if it doesn't come off, you've got that risk. You've invested so much. Do you jump in and do it, or do you just hold off a few more weeks, a few more months, or wait till the next year?
Do you have a target time in mind to swim Foveaux?
Yeah, I've looked at this, and it's an interesting one, because you can put a target time on it, but I don't want to have a set target time in my head, and then things don't quite go to plan, and you're getting pushed, one way or the other, and it's taking a bit longer. But I really think it's achievable in sort of that 8 to 10 hours, all going well, closer to the 8. And it's just, sticking to a plan, listening to your crew, and just pushing as hard as you can.
How does that compare to swimming Cook Strait or Lake Taupo?
Yeah, I guess I've been asked that quite a bit. I mean, the difference between the freshwater and the saltwater for a start is that when I look at, say, I compare Cook Strait to Lake Taupo, I was probably a lot more beaten up swimming Lake Taupo, to be honest.
Wow.
Because you sit lower in the water, you don't have the buoyancy, and you just swim in a one big straight line all day. And on that swim, I got through it, no worries, but I had one of my bursa, my left bursa in my shoulder, sort of started to not play the game with about 2 hours to go. So that was sort of quite agony, because you're sitting lower in the water, you're reaching up, and I was really sore. The Cook Strait, not so sore. Body was in good nick, but I was just really tired. Probably from being pushed around a little bit more on the tide. So, yeah, with the Foveaux, same sort of thing. Tapering now. I've done a heck of a lot of strength work, conditioning work, obviously lots and lots of swimming. Nailed some, pretty decent swims over the summer, upwards of sort of 24, 25 Ks. And, yeah, just getting as best nick as I can and freshening up just to be ready to go.
So how long did Cook Strait take you? What was the time for that?
My Cook Strait time was 8 hours 47.
Okay, so about the same as what you're aiming for Foveaux.
Yeah, about the same. And again, like I say, you've got to be prepared for everything. Point to point, Cook Strait was 23 kilometres. I swam 8 hours 47, but I covered 44 Ks that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then that 8 hours 47 was still a pretty damn good time, and there was a few people didn't even get across this summer. So, yeah.
What is it about marathon swimming that appeals to you?
Oh, yeah, I get asked this a lot. Look, I guess I've always been an endurance athlete, endurance junkie, probably more so. And it's opened up another whole world for me because, I mean, I'm 52 now. I have represented New Zealand in triathlon and Ironman. And Ironman triathlon was my sport. Did Hawaii Ironman, and that was me. I was going to be a pro, and I had this career laid out. But then my knees sort of didn't play the game. Maybe too many years in the military and carrying packs and whatnot. What we do didn't help. But now open water swimming, because I find regardless of age, it's not as tough on the body. It's not as pounding, and it's opened up this whole new world to me. In that a triathlete, we prided ourselves on being skinny and lean. It's a whole different world. I've had to put on weight and fat just to stay warm in the water. The time in the water, the mental challenges, dealing with the cold, dealing with currents, dealing with, sea life, just all these different challenges that are all down to you to push through on, that self-challenge.
Amazing. So tell us about the Ocean 7.
Yeah, the Ocean 7. So it's a series, or it's a challenge that it's the toughest 7 ocean swims in the world. Any one of them on their given day is a tough one. So that's sort of the real benchmark of open water international swimming. There's sorry, what was that?
No, I was going to ask you how far and wide you'll have to go if you are to achieve that.
Yeah, no, she's pretty decent. I've done the Cook Strait, that's one. Then you've got in Europe, there's a few. So there's the English Channel, the Northern Channel, which is Ireland to Scotland. In Europe, there is the Gibraltar, which is pretty much Europe to Africa. Catalina, which is Catalina Island to San Francisco, cold waters and sharks. Tsugi Strait in Japan, which is the mainland of Japan to Hokkaido, and Malakai Channel in Hawaii. So all over the place. Some really cold, some really warm.
Amazing. What a challenge for you. Why does the raising of awareness for dyslexia, when you're doing all of this, resonate particularly with you, Dave?
Well, pretty simple, really. Dyslexic. And I've faced a heck of a lot of challenges in my time, and I guess it sort of goes hand in hand. Something that maybe I used to try and hide or put to the side and not want people to know, but I've found ways to get through it. And I mean, the endurance sport, swimming, has just been a really, really good platform to use, that I'm pushing this area. I've pushed myself physically, but mentally as well. So hence I have a platform I swim off, Dr. Dave Swims. And that's because even as, the early challenges I faced, I managed to achieve getting my PhD. I never thought I'd have a degree, let alone a PhD. I'm a proud born and bred Tokoro boy, left school, worked in a bush gang. I was pretty proud of that, but I just, early on I thought, this is okay, but I can achieve some cool stuff. And I just kept pushing through, joined the military, got a degree, and just sort of pushed from there. So advocating learning that we can achieve, we've just got to find pretty much our own way to achieve and learn. Amazing.
And amongst all of this, you've worked a bit in rugby as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I've had a pretty cool career. I, again, talked about my endurance sport, and I went to Otago University when I first left the military. And, as we do, I sort of thought I'm going to get a job in endurance, and then realised in New Zealand, actually, there's very few jobs. So rugby was the way to go. I played rugby when I was younger. I was a Pirates man, Pirates Tuckera.
Yep.
And I thought pretty early, this is the way to go. So, yeah, I worked with the university clubs, had my degree, and I was lucky enough to get my first rugby job was back with my boyhood team of Waikato. And that was in the early days when Warren Gatlin come back. So had some success there. Assistant trainer with the Chiefs. And then journey sort of carried on. I was lucky enough to get the job with Samoa. I was the Manu Samoa head strength conditioning coach for 4 years. Did the 211 World Cup. And then off the back of that, managed to go to Japan. I was employed by Eddie Jones at Suntory to look after the Suntory club. Had 2 years there and had some success, and that was a pretty cool journey. Another couple of years around Japan, and then sort of headed back to New Zealand for my kids to do high school and relinked with Samoa. So it's been a pretty cool journey, and I've done 3 World Cups now with Samoa, and now sort of trying to bring a lot of that high performance work into the Defence Force as well, with rugby and within my jobs. really
Amazing.
trying to use that. So trying to bridge the performance worlds into defence and rugby and everything as we go.
Amazing. What a journey it's been, and much more to come by the sounds of it, Dave. The immediate point of business is swimming Foveaux Strait. Let's hope the window opens for you and stays open. People can find out more at your website. What's the website?
Yeah, look at my website, www.drdaveswims.org.nz. Also look on Facebook, Dr. Dave Swims. I've got a Facebook page, and I'm promoting the swim, but also trying to teach people about it. Why we do cold water baths and how does nutrition work and all the crazy stuff that goes with it that people don't understand. So yeah, have a look at that.
Been a great pleasure catching up with you, Dave. All the best for Foveaux, and look forward to tracking your progress as you head towards the guts of Ocean 7 as well. Been a pleasure to catch up.
Thanks, Piney. Really appreciate it. And if people want to get onto that site and have a look, I'll have the GPS tracker up so you can watch me chasing those sharks all day, or swimming away from those sharks all day.
Let's hope it's that one. Good to chat, mate. Yeah. All the best.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Dave. Dr. Dave Edgar there, marathon swimmer and extremely good rooster you could pick up from that chat. Dr. Dave Swims. That's drdaveswims.org.nz. drdaveswims.org.nz, or just look for Dr. Dave Swims on Facebook. What a good man. What a really good man.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.